Hello, and welcome to Delta Corp's company overview and product reveal presentation. My name is Tyler Johnson, CEO, founder, and lead representative for Delta Corp. Together with Moises Rios, co-founder, lead developer, and concept designer, we form the backbone that is this ambitious project. But what is Delta Corp exactly? Delta Corp is our software development startup company, formed with the goal of serving the community first through innovation and knowledge. We believe that everyone should have the tools to succeed in our modern era of technology, and the best tool for any job, big or small, is knowledge. Knowledge is power. That is the motto that Delta Corp abides by. This motto is seen every day in the work done here at Delta Corp, whether through our research team testing the limits of the latest technology, our field team going out to communities to hear the worries and complaints of the people, or our development team learning from the current trends to create new and innovative products. We all have the drive to gain knowledge not just for ourselves, but for the people we serve, for a more knowledgeable generation now, and for future generations to come. This new generation of knowledge starts with you and I alike. At Delta Corp, our goal is to level the playing field between those who have knowledge and those who don't by giving those without it the knowledge and power they need to thrive. We plan to create an entire shift in the tech industry's thinking process by changing the customer base at its core. With the more knowledgeable people, the people benefit first and the businesses later. As stated, we gain knowledge not just for us, but for the people we serve. Time and time again, we have seen this power abused. It is very easy for those with the knowledge to control, manipulate, even take over entire governments and subsystems. Which brings us to the main topic of this video: big data. What is big data? Big data is a term that is thrown around a lot, but many people do not actually know what it is. And no, it's not some conspiracy theory or corrupt company like Big Brother or Big Soap. Luckily, big data is exactly what it sounds like. It is a big amount of data. A huge amount, actually. In the age of the internet, massive amounts of various data are stored, transferred, read, analyzed, and used across many websites, databases, servers, and supercomputers every second and with lightning speed. This includes seemingly harmless data such as family photos, daily blog posts, and news articles, but also includes more private data such as tax information, social security numbers, and login information. Businesses and organizations all over the world collect this data for various reasons. By using advanced analytical algorithms and teams of data scientists, accurate business decisions and assumptions can be made. This field of big data engineering is actually very common. By collecting data on customer demographics, for example, a company can market themselves to a particular demographic. This huge amount of data can also be used for recommendation algorithms. YouTube, Netflix, and other video streaming platforms use such an algorithm. By analyzing not only your viewing history, but also the viewing history of other people similar to you in demographics and interest, video recommendations can be given. Not only that, by consumers giving feedback on the recommendations given, the algorithm can improve for not only you, but for other users of those services as well. While there are clear advantages for all of this data being accessed by businesses, it also leaves many people in fear, and for good reason. Most people don't know what exactly businesses do with all this data, and the potential to use said data for malicious purposes is there. When we send our information over the internet, or even when we send a paper with our information on it to companies, we blindly hope that the recipients of that information will use it specifically and exclusively to help us and to grant us their services. Granted, this is not a new issue, and laws have been put in place to help and protect people, such as the new Privacy Act, making businesses tell customers what they're doing with their information. However, this doesn't stop businesses from saying one thing and doing another. We've seen this before. Another issue that arises with this great deal of information is the security of it. Even if the holders of the data promise to use it as they say they do, that doesn't stop hackers, bots, and other unauthorized utilities from stealing the data and using it for their own purposes. Billions of dollars are spent on cybersecurity annually to prevent this. However, data breaches and data leaks still occur regularly. The worst part is it can happen instantly without anyone even knowing about it, sometimes for days and even weeks. With all this in mind, there are some ethical questions that both businesses and consumers need to ask themselves. For businesses, will I use the data as I say I will? To what extent do I tell my customers what we are doing with their data? How important is the security of their data? What are the repercussions, and are they worth the risk? For consumers, what information am I willing to give up, and how willing am I to give it up? Do I trust businesses to keep their word about security and proper use? Whose fault is it if my information gets leaked? The company's for lack of security, or mine for giving my information in the first place? As we stated before, we at Delta Corp believe that knowledge is power, and if there is anyone in the world that deserves to have knowledge on their own sensitive presence in this massive technological landscape, it should be one person: you. You deserve to know who knows what about you. You deserve to know what information is out there on you. Even if businesses don't tell you, you deserve to know. We at Delta Corp are very passionate about this. That is why, as CEO, founder, and lead representative of this company, it gives me great pleasure to finally reveal the product that we've been working on for the past 4 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce Delta Corp's magnum opus, BD Mass. What is BD Mass? BD Mass is an acronym for Delta Corp's Big Data, Monitor, and Security System. It is a state-of-the-art piece of software that finally lets users know what data is out there on them and where it is located. By using a combination of patent-pending deep search algorithms, machine learning-based ethical hacking techniques, and a new proprietary form of cybersecurity we dub the 50K wall, BD Mass provides users with this valuable information with record speed and with a level of security previously reserved for only the most secure of web servers. Everything from simple queries like, where does my name appear on this particular website, to what information is out there on me throughout the internet, can all be answered with this technical marvel. So, how does it work? BD Mass's deep search algorithm peruses through the internet for whatever information you want to find on yourself based on your particular needs, and returns these results in a convenient list. Think of it as a next-generation search engine for you. You can filter this search by scope, say one particular website, a collection of similar websites like social media sites or video sharing sites, and even the internet as a whole, though this option does take quite some time. You can filter by specific attributes about yourself. For example, let's say you want to see if there's information out there about your social security number, or your home address, or even your marital status. Finally, you can filter by level of security. You can search by things that are easily available to the public, or by things that are not public, but easily accessed through simple hacking. BD Mass's deep search algorithm is so advanced, it even digs up information from the dark web, a side of the internet notorious for its dubious content and illegal practices. Once the search is complete, BDMass presents a convenient list of all known locations of your search query. In addition, with each element in the search, you can see approximate publishing date, the level of publicity, an approximate number of views, the level of severity, and even potential ways to remove said information with recommendations on what should be removed if need be. This list is provided in the main dashboard of the program for easy viewing and quick decision making for even the most inept of tech users. While all this is good to know, with all the information that you need to put in and all the information you get back, there's also the risk of the software being hacked. This is especially true for large queries on sensitive data. Hackers are always looking for the biggest source of sensitive information. We at Delta Corp understand this well, and that's why BDMass also comes equipped with our new proprietary security measure we have honed and dubbed the 50K wall. What is the 50K wall? Well, while we keep most of the details within the company for obvious security reasons, the main point is that all of your information is locked behind 50 1024-bit encryption keys for maximum security and then some. This level of security surpasses what even the most secure of businesses implement on their website by 10 years and puts it in the hands of the people. With it in place, even the fastest of brute force supercomputers will take years, decades even, to crack the code and get to your information. Furthermore, we at Delta Corp store absolutely no information in our local business servers, leaving all information to only our users, giving no way for hackers to access this information via our own security. However, rest assured that our servers are also backed by our own 50K wall security system, so the very few things we do keep is also secured for years on end. Some of you might be asking a few questions like, isn't all this a bit excessive? Can't I just look myself up on Google and get the same information? Are there other applications out there similar that can help me? Are a few ads or video recommendations here and there really that bad, especially if they're relevant to me? Overall, is all this talk on big data a big deal? I would like to answer these questions one by one. Let's start with the first one. Isn't all this a bit excessive? The short answer is yes and no. One thing that we pride ourselves on at Delta Corp is going above and beyond for our customers and our supporters. We wanted to cover every possibility for our users so that no one is without the knowledge they desire, and that's why we weren't afraid to go all out with BDMass. Everything from security to speed to depth and to ease of use have all been taken into consideration for this piece of technical brilliance, and we are proud to show it off. The next two questions sort of go together. Can't I just look myself up on Google and get the same information? Are there other applications out there similar that can help me? The answer to both of these questions is a definite no, unless all you want to see is your name come up on a Facebook link. The great thing about Google and other search engines is that it displays only the most relevant links to you without too many outliers, and definitely without probing the more dangerous dark web or even some of the deeper parts of the quote-unquote surface web. This is great until you really want to find specific details about yourself that is available on the internet, and without giving these search engines your information directly. Google and other search engines simply fail at this by design. BDMass, however, excels at this because it was built from the ground up to do so. It's not just another search engine. It is a self-data monitoring system at its core. Next up, are a few ads and video recommendations really that bad? The answer to that is, while the ads, recommendations, and the algorithms that drive them are not necessarily bad, it is the people and systems behind them that are the biggest concern. These algorithms need and feed off of your data, many times without users knowing or even caring about it. Which brings me to the final question. Overall, is big data a big deal? The answer is actually pretty shocking. No. And it absolutely should be. Research shows that a great deal of people simply aren't concerned about the data that they give away to companies freely. It's mostly just for the use of a service or even for small compensations. As we stated before, we at Delta Corp believe that knowledge is power. We as a people have gotten so used to giving companies this power, while we are left with no knowledge of the behind the scenes. In other words, no power of our own. And that's where BD truly shines. And that's why we are so proud of it. We want to build a generation of people that are actually concerned about their information, their power in this new digital age. At the end of the day, it's about you and the community that you are a part of. So much so that we at Delta Corp, with our wonderful field team, approach the community with our own questions, and also listen to the community for their thoughts and questions, and sought answers accordingly. We have a few examples here today, and I would like to take the time to answer them personally. Please forgive me if I mispronounce any of the following names. Jericho Janetta asks, as a U.S. veteran, I dread going to the VA hospital unless I really have to, as there's usually a long wait even if you only need some information about your health. By uploading my health data online, I can now avoid the long wait at the hospital and simply use my login information on the website to access this information. As convenient as this may be, I can't help but wonder what type of safety precautions that these organizations or companies take in order to make sure that all data are protected. What makes your company different from others when it comes to protecting data? And how will you make sure that possible customers will feel confident about the safety of their data? First of all, Mr. Janetta, I would just like to say on behalf of all of Delta Corp, thank you for your service to this country. We at Delta Corp more than likely wouldn't even stand if it weren't for people like you. With that said, we know that you of all people understand the importance of good security, especially for sensitive information that often lies in healthcare. That is why we put so much pride and effort into our 50K wall security system. One of the first questions we ever asked ourselves in the planning phase was, once the people have this information, how do we secure it? The development of the 50K wall was simultaneous with the development of BD Mass and took well over 50% of the entire development timeline. We wanted to make sure that it was done right even if it was never done before. You can rest assured that our level of security is top-notch and unrivaled because we want to instill that level of confidence for our customers. Thank you for writing, and once again, thank you for your service. Allison Arnett asks, I wouldn't say I'm signing up for websites left and right, but the thought of big data being an issue just doesn't cross my mind very much. I find this fascinating because I feel like this should be a concern of mine, but I'm more focused on using the application I'm trying to sign up for rather than what's going to happen with my personal information. My question for your company, will you be using big data? If so, how will you use that big data? And how do you plan on making the customer feel more comfortable sharing their personal information? You bring up a great point, Allison, that the issue does seem to never cross our minds. You're definitely not the only one who has felt the need to be concerned over the spread of your data, but somehow prioritizes the use of applications and services over said concerns. You're better than most, though, for not signing up for websites left and right. Good on you for that. To answer your question, while BD Mass does collect data on users and even uses similar big data algorithms, it in no way uses it in the traditional big data engineering sense. The data that BD Mass collects is strictly for you, the user. We at Delta Corp do not collect this information directly, and we certainly do not sell said information to other companies, be it advertising companies, affiliate services, or even other security companies. Absolutely nothing will leave your hands. That is our promise to you. Thank you for writing, Allison. This next one is not a question for us, but is a response to one of our questions that illustrates a very good point. We asked the community, does it bother you that you don't really know what businesses do with your data? To which Michael Dumas responds, it bothers me when I get an advertisement for a product on social media that I searched for on the internet, or even when I didn't search for it. It's very common for algorithms to display advertisement for products based on your internet usage. We see these types of things every day on the internet, in fact. But what about the products that seemingly have nothing to do with the things we search? Could it be a faulty algorithm? Potentially. Could it be something I forgot? Maybe. Could it be that someone is selling off my information to other advertisers? That is also a possibility. Sharing people's data to other companies is actually very common, even if these companies don't want you to think it is. A lot of times, it is even done for profit, especially in more dangerous parts of the internet. It's actually pretty scary. We said earlier that one of the questions that businesses have to ask themselves is, to what extent do I tell customers what we're doing with their data? Time and time again, we've seen the sharing of data without consumers even knowing about it. Whether this is ethical or not is subject to your own personal morals, but we at Delta Corp don't believe this is right. That makes it all the more important to know where your data lies, and BD-MAS is designed to help with that and even combat it. Thank you, Michael, for writing in. We have time for one more, and this is from Zoe Ray, who asks, big data isn't something I think about often, but I'm very starkly aware of it when it comes down to it. I'm on the internet a lot, being for school or personal reasons, and I always try to be very careful with what information I give to websites and companies. But there are plenty of places that have a lot of important information about you, like hospitals and banks, for example. It absolutely bothers me that I don't exactly know what people do with my information when they have it, and I worry about identity theft and fraud all the time. What can your company offer me to give me peace of mind when it comes to the people who have access to my information? Well, Zoe, you seem to be in the same boat as Allison in the sense that you both are aware of the potential risks and you're generally careful about who you give your information to. Again, this is good. You brought up identity theft and fraud as well. Both are heinous crimes that do happen regularly, and you always want to make sure you're taking some precautions yourself. People should follow your example. That being said, the sharing of your information is inevitable in some cases, like with hospitals and banks per your examples, and that fear of not knowing is a real fear. We want peace of mind when it comes to sensitive subjects like this in general, and the answer to that peace of mind is, once again, knowledge. The knowledge of what is out there and even how to prevent and remove it is very powerful. BD-MAS provides you with both of these incredibly useful knowledge bits that help you sleep at night. Even if the hospitals and banks slip up on their end, there will never be a moment where you don't know about it, allowing you to take immediate action based on the information, the power that we give to you. Thank you for writing, Zoe. So, we discussed a lot in this presentation. We discussed the values and goals of Delta Corp. We discussed how knowledge is power and it is up to us, the community, and our bonds to provide each other with that knowledge to create a new generation of informed individuals. We discussed the pros and cons of big data in our modern internet age. We discussed our new product, Big Data Monitor and Security System, BD-MAS, equipped with easy-to-use features and industry-leading security in the form of the 50K wall. We even answered questions from the community about the future of big data, how it will impact us, and what we can do to protect ourselves. What's the main takeaway from all of this? In short, it's all about you. Our ultimate goal is to serve the community, because that's what we believe in at Delta Corp. We believe in an educated, knowledgeable, and powerful community that has the potential to shake both the tech industry and the entire world with its knowledge, and we plan to stand at the forefront with BD-MAS. At the time of this recording, October 2020, We are already working together through one of our worst times in history, economically, structurally, and emotionally. Despite this, we are working hard to give back to the communities that gave us what we need to stand here today. To our potential investors, we look forward to your support. With your resources to assist us, we can have this product in the hands of communities everywhere, communities that desperately need it, because everyone deserves to have this knowledge, no matter what the situation and no matter what the background. To our future customers, we can't do this without you. You are the driving force that will make this dream a reality for both Delta Corp and for the people of the world. This is a team effort that we are glad to see to the end. This concludes Delta Corp's company overview and product reveal presentation. If you would like more information in the coming weeks, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media platforms. If you want to contact Delta Corp about being a potential investor, please visit our website at deltacorp.com/invest or send an email to invest@deltacorp.com. Thank you very much for tuning in, and remember, knowledge is power. Thank you.